Hi guys, as usual, all the necessary links in the video description and my test system setup details also in the video description. So, I've read that everyone loved original AO300, so when I saw AO300 Pro, I was immediately interested in reviewing one, as this small guy competes directly with 2.1 audio-video receivers and soundbars. So, how's that possible? Well, it has eARC input. This means that all the sources connected to your TV, consoles, set-top boxes, Blu-ray players, etc. can be automatically rerouted from your TV to AO300 Pro, to this small guy. And with eARC, you will be able to control volume via TV remote, and AO300 Pro will be able to power up and down with your TV automatically. So it's like fire and forget amplifier, just connect it and forget it's there. But that's not all, as if you want, you can also connect other digital sources like CDs, PC, streamers, and you can even connect one analog source like turntable or maybe cassette tape player if you're into that. So in theory, it's an ideal all-in-one system that can compete with soundbars and audio-video receivers that are 2.1 meaning stereo plus subwoofer. So let's talk about some numbers. This is a stereo amplifier, so it's capable of outputting 165 watts per channel into 4 ohms, so that's an amazing amount of power. Into 8 ohms, that drops to 85 watts per channel, so that's, let's say, more realistic figure. And it's using Infineon Merus MA5332MS Class D amplifier to achieve that. Digital to analog converter chip is Cirrus Logic CS43131, which, when correctly implemented, can deliver excellent results. For USB serial communication, we have Exmos XU316 chip that's capable of 52 bits and 768 kilohertz, and it's also able to decode DSD up to DSD 256, and it's also able to decode MQA if you're into MQA. Now, about the analog parameters, for the DAC chip, this amplifier as a whole has a signal to noise ratio and dynamic range specified as 107 decibels. So that's pretty nice for something that's all-in-one. THD plus noise is specified as 0.003%. So that's good. That's not, I would say, class leading, but that's perfectly fine for an amplifier. And channel separation is specified as 98 decibels. Fully balanced systems have that parameter in the range of, let's say, 105, 110 decibels. The usually integrated amplifiers have it in a range of, let's say, 80 decibels, something like that. So 98 decibels of channel separation is quite nice number. We also have Bluetooth 5.3 on board. That's able to decode LDAC and aptX HD, so both high quality codecs for your wireless audio. Yeah, and one more thing, the SMSL is stating that the control is done via JRC NJW 1194 chip. You may remember that one from some of my other reviews. It's quite popular because it allows not only for the volume control, but also for some EQ settings. Yeah, so let's talk about the build and let's talk about the functionality of the menu. The first thing, it comes with a remote. This is a standard SMSL remote. You've seen it 1,000 times. It works. It's plastic, but after a couple of years I'm starting to appreciate that it's plastic, because many times my remotes are landing on the floor, and metal remotes will be either damaged or they will damage the floor. The plastic remotes tend to live through adventures like that. So it will make some sounds like that because I've already opened it, but let's take a look at the front. We have an LCD display here that shows us the volume setting. It also shows us the chosen input, the sampling frequency, and the type of the signal that's coming into the digital to analog converter. Obviously now I've chosen optical to show you those two things, but there is no signal connected to the input. We also have an IR receiver somewhere around, I don't know, here I think. And we have a volume control knob that doubles as a switch for the settings, and we'll get through them in a second. And we also have two headphone outputs. One is single-ended 6.35 millimeters, and the second one, and that's the one I preferred, is balanced 4.4 millimeter connector. That provides better quality, sound quality than the single-ended one. Now, let's talk about the menu before we'll take a look at the back. In the menu we can choose input, we can choose output, we can choose EQ setting, and we have direct, tone, SDB, that's basically like a loudness profile designed by SMSL, bass, super bass, and rock, and soft and clear. Now I was listening to direct, which bypasses the EQ settings. If you want to have tone controls operational, you need to select this one, because there are two settings for treble and bass, and you can change it from +9 to -9 as far as I remember, yeah. But they will be in effect only when here you will choose tone. And I'm telling you this because I've seen some reviews where guys were telling that they have no idea what tone actually does. The tone enables those two settings to actually work. You can choose the filter for the DAC, and my favorite one is always fast low latency or fast sharp roll-off, so I leave it at that. You can choose the color, and that is the color of the display. So yeah, let's get back to white. Okay, we can clear the Bluetooth connected devices, the memory of last connected devices. We can set the dimmer of the screen. With automatic off, I think it's after something like 10 or 15 seconds, so it's very short. I'll just leave it at always on. By the way, it's a very short time for auto off, because if you're using this with eARC input, you probably want to just shut down the display so it won't interfere with you watching, I don't know, movie or TV or something. Okay, and we have CIC control. We can enable CIC control or disable CIC control. So this is basically a control that allows CIC compatible devices control the powering on and off and other devices through HDMI eARC connector. If you want your TV to be able to power on and off AO300 Pro with just the TV remote together with the TV, you need to enable that. Okay, so let's power it off for a second and let's talk about other things that we can see here. So the first thing, it basically looks as exactly as the previous version, exactly as AO300. The only difference in the model number is here on the sticker. Here you can actually see that this is a Pro version. Yeah, we can see some rubber legs, nice rubber legs that are collecting the dust as crazy, but they are nicely isolating the device. And in the back we have set of inputs and outputs. We have HDMI eARC input. This is also backward compatible with regular ARC. We have optical and coaxial SPDIF inputs. We have Bluetooth antenna connector. We have USB input, and we have one set of RCA analog line inputs. As I've said, you can connect your turntable or something like that to the analog input of this amplifier. And we also have a subwoofer output, which is a very nice thing. It's still not a standard on value amplifiers, 2.0 amplifiers, to have a subwoofer output and to make them 2.1 amplifier. And as you can see, we have one set of speaker connectors. These guys are accepting banana plugs or bell wire connections. Yep, as you can see here, and obviously those will not accept any kind of spade. And we have power socket with master switch here in the back. I've already removed 4 screws that were in the corners, and I've also removed another 2 that were here, and I've left only the one here. So let me undo that quickly and we'll take a look inside. Yeah. Okay, so this slides back and we can take a look at the amplifier inside. So basically the power supply, I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same one as it was in PA40 and a couple of other SMSL amplifiers that I've seen so far, which means that this is a good quality power source, and I really liked it in other amplifiers, and that's a spoiler, I liked it here. Now the actual amplifier and digital to analog converter is a very clean design. We have our Cirrus Logic digital to analog converter here. We have JRC volume control here. We have 2 chips that had been sanded down, this guy and this guy. We have operation amplifier 072C here. What else do we have here? We have my main controller for the board here that acts as a CPU. We have Bluetooth chipset over here as a ready-made board, and we have Exmos XU316 over here. So all in all, it's a pretty simple design. I'm wondering what are the chips that had been sanded down and why was that done to them. Well, I have no idea. Those guys are Nichicon cabs rated for 1000 microfarads and 50 volts. You cannot replace them with anything higher because they are just under the top lead, like that. Yeah, but maybe you could try to find something slightly larger in diameter, because there seems to be about 1.5 up to 2 millimeters space around them. Still, it's perfectly fine as it is. Yeah, we have also a Omron relay. No, that's not an Omron. We also have a relay for controlling the headphone outputs. And that's basically it. So it's quite simple. But the question is, how does it sound? Okay, so let's have it back like that. It may... give me a second. Okay, so let's power the guy again. Yep. and let's talk about the sound quality. Okay, so let's start with the bass. I could actually repeat all the praise from SMSL PA40 amplifier review here. Bass is fast, it's clean, it's precise, and it's very tight. But it's not weak or anemic. When needed, it can hit really hard, and it can stop your speakers in place the very next moment. It has superb texture and detail. It's very neutral, meaning no coloration. It's not warm, but it's also not dry. And I really like the mid bass here. It's full and nicely controlled. Very good class D bass, all in all. Moving on to mid-range. Again, the word defining mid-range is neutral. Mid-range has a lot of fine detail. Voices are neither dry, analytical, nor warm. They are clean and accurate. There is no dryness or grain in the vocals, so that's a plus. And there is no shoutiness or listening fatigue. You will definitely notice the amount of detail in the mid-range that this amplifier is able to deliver. This is a highlight here. It really draws your attention because for that price, it's something very rare. Now, moving on to treble. Treble has excellent extension. It's very clean and airy. I really like the transparency and sense of space here. All of this comes with no sibilance. The top end is clean and it's smooth, but it is not a bright amplifier. The treble is full of light, but it's not bright. It's just the way I like it. It's not sharp, it's airy, it's extended, but it's not something I would call a bright amplifier. Let's talk about some technicalities. Let's start with the resolution. Now, when it comes to resolution, this is one of the best CS43151 implementations. The detail here, considering the price, is simply stunning. Everything I'm always looking for in my test tracks was there for me to enjoy. And it was served as a part of the musical whole, not as a bag of separate sounds that draw your attention, if you know what I mean. AO300 Pro went with flying colors through my flow test tracks. One of them being Crockett Team by Ian Hammer. If you're familiar with the track, it is a nice piece of music, but I'm using it for the flow and musicality because with well-tuned equipment, the music just flows. It's like a river. With some other equipment, it's just a couple of guys playing some different instruments. And in this case, this guy went through this with flying colors. It was just super enjoyable listen for me. Now, scene and imaging. The soundstage is wide and the sound gets away from the speakers easily, but the stage is not very deep, although it does have proper imaging layers that are evenly spaced to the back. But it's not very deep in total, and that was also a PA40 trait. Getting back to positives, center image is very nice, rock solid and precise, and there is a lot of space between all sound sources. So there is no crowdy soundstage. There is a lot of space between instruments, between singers, and the whole soundstage is very airy. Now, let's talk about the headphone amplifier. And this amplifier working with my Martin Logan electrostats. So, CS43151 has headphone amplifier built in and quite good, so the sound is clear, detailed and dynamic. If you've heard any good CS43151 based USB dongle or PL150 or PL100 SMSL CD players, you'll know what I'm talking about, because this is basically the same characteristics that the other units have. They are using the same DAC with Headamp, and they sound basically the same, unless someone would be messing up the implementation. If the implementation is fine, they will sound basically the same, and all of them will sound very good. And that's the case here. The sound is clear, detailed, and dynamic. It's able to drive all of my headphones with very nice results. So having it here is a very nice bonus. This, let's say that this head-on amplifier basically comes for free, because we already have a DAC that has Headamp functionality built in. So the only thing that SMSL needed to do is to add two connectors for headphones. Okay, so I did test AO300 Pro with my electrostats, and yes, there was no problem with that. This little amp easily handled that difficult load without any treble problems. The thing is that Martin Logan Ascent 1 speakers are dropping down to 1.2 ohms in the treble. So they are very difficult load even for many expensive amplifiers. And what are the symptoms? The difficult load in treble means that the amplifier will have problems with airiness and extension of treble. And that was not the case with this guy. It was excellent, it was airy, it was well extended, meaning that it doesn't really care about loads as hard as 1.2 ohms. So yeah, that's very good. Summary: if you're looking for a soundbar or something like this, just stop. Get this guy and get some real speakers and a subwoofer, and thank me later. The overall sound quality will mop the floor with any kind of soundbar, maybe except with some soundbars that are thousands of dollars, literally. Okay, so it can also properly compete with 2.1 audio-video receivers, leaving many of them in the dust because of its superb sound quality. But the very important thing is to check if your TV is compatible with eARC and CIC. Yes, it will work with regular ARC too, but you will have to use the supplied remote to power on and off the device and to set the volume level. But it's also a very competent digital to analog converter headamp/amp combo, and in my case it will replace A80 as my work desk amplifier. Yes, it's a little wider. A80 is something like that, I think, so it's about, let's say, I don't know, 4 or 5 centimeters wider, but it's also clearer and more transparent in treble. And it comes with very competent headphone amplifier, so I will lose the small toy that I was currently using up on my desk. Upgrade. If you already own regular AO300, there is no point in upgrading to AO300 Pro unless you are dying for TV remote volume control and power on-off functionality. The differences between regular AO300 and this Pro version is the Bluetooth version, because the regular one was 5.0 and this one is 5.3, and those two things that are connected with eARC. The regular AO300 was compatible with ARC HDMI output, and this guy is compatible with eARC, meaning that it will allow you to control the power state with the ARC connection and the volume control. Okay, so if you already own one, there is no point in upgrading unless you really have to have those two functionalities. But if you are in the market for all-in-one like that, then I can honestly recommend AO300 Pro as an excellent choice. I hope you liked this video and that it helped you. If it did, you're more than welcome to support my channel by getting me a beer using PayPal link or YouTube. Super thanks, that's down below the video. Yeah, this guy is really, really good. The usual all-in-ones are good for everything and excellent for nothing. And this one is really good in all areas. And I haven't told you the price. I've just realized I haven't told you the price. Yeah, so the regular price is something like $318, but you will be able to lower that with coupons and sale price to something like $295. So that's not a lot, all in all, but for $300 you are getting an excellent amplifier. This is basically the same as in PA40. You are getting an excellent DAC, which is almost on par with the AO100 Pro, and on top of that, you are getting a freebie headphone amplifier. So yeah, I will be using that as my daily driver on my work desk. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you'll have a great day ahead of you. See you next time.